Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about your newest book,
Yes.
Raising Uncommon Kids. And I think there's so much great advice for all of us in
you.
here, but you're also saying that you've incorporated this frugal advice in here as well. And I know your book is based on Colossians 3.
It is.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that scripture and why that scripture was important to you and why it's so important to the points in this book.
Well, you know, and some people are surprised, like, why is the frugal expert writing a parenting book? And I'm quick to say it's not a parenting book. It's really a mirror that we turn on ourselves as parents. I think that's the problem with society today, is that we want this quick fix for our kids, right? Oh, our kids are selfish. They're doing something wrong. Really, a lot of times they're getting it from us as their parents, grandparents, teachers. So this all stemmed out of a moment I had with my daughter 4 years ago where I was putting her to bed. She was 7 years old, and I felt like she was being incredibly selfish. I mean, I literally wanted to shake her, you know, by the shoulders. And so I left the room before I said or did something I was going to regret.
Good.
And I literally fell to my knees. And I don't often hear God speak, but I said, God, you have got to give me a word, something. And he planted this fable in my head. And I went back to my daughter's bedside and I told her this fable, and it had stemmed, the selfishness had stemmed from our compassion child that we sponsor. And I had been telling her, you know, Gabrielle doesn't have food to eat. Didn't touch her. Gabrielle's parents don't live at home. She's raised by her grandparents. Didn't faze her. Gabrielle doesn't get to go to school. Like, nothing that I thought mattered to my daughter.
Right.
So I go back into my daughter's room and I start telling her the story about how Gabrielle doesn't have pajamas. You would have thought her world had ended. She sat up in her bed and was like, Gabrielle doesn't have pajamas? What do you mean? I was like, doesn't matter that she doesn't have food or her parents, but she doesn't have pajamas, because to my daughter, her pajamas make her feel like a superhero. It's the first thing she does when she comes home from school.
She can relate now.
Yeah, so it clicked in me that, you know what, I've got to get to know my child, not just impose my beliefs and impose my heart. I have to get to know her and do this a little bit backwards.